Welcome along. We are here with the lovely Jamie Rodgers for another hour of live shopping VIP. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome along. It's lovely to have your company here. We are celebrating not only our Can we start again?
Hold it.
Start again? Reboot. Yep, reboot.
It's a well.
Summer crafting event.
Summer crafting.
But it's also a special someone's birthday.
It is. So as a brand, we are one. We are one. I know it feels like it's gone on forever, but just
in the best possible way.
Do you know, it's one of those things where you kind of have that double-sided thought to this.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways it feels like forever, and in other ways it feels like we just started yesterday.
It's just amazing.
But it's been an amazing year.
But how far you've come in just a year as well, Jamie.
Yeah, people keep saying that. I don't know if you're in the eye of the storm, if you understand that and sort of see it. But yeah, I kind of get the idea that we've done well, I feel.
Yeah,
I hope.
Done well. Very,
Got
very
a long
well.
way to go, but we're ticking away.
Brilliant, I love it. So if you're brand new, welcome along. How do you shop with us here at Live Shopping at VIP? Well, if you're watching on social media, so your Facebooks or your Instagrams, all you need to do is type the word shop, followed by the code you see on the screens. So for example, Shop Mega is the first code we got on today. Type that in the comments and that will add the item you see on your screens to your basket over on Live Shopping VIP. If you're watching on the website, again, welcome along there. That is a simple case of just running through the products in order, adding click to basket, and then you'll see your little basket icon above the list as well. Super, super simple. Means you don't have to go anywhere. Don't have to navigate away from wonderful demos that Jamie's been bringing us.
Quick, simple shopping.
Quick, simple shopping is indeed the word. So get your comments in. We love to hear from you. We've got the iPad on standby so we can say our hellos. We can read out your birthday messages for Jamie as well, which is fantastic. Jamie, what are you bringing us this hour?
So we're going to be looking at the garden collection, but we've also got the Enchanted sprinkles.
Nice.
We've got our new crushed velvet paper, and we've got the Stencil. So it's about 50 items.
Okay,
just
a few.
Just a few items to try and fit into this hour.
That is going to be a lot of fun. Now, those Enchanted sprinkles, were they the ones that you showed this morning?
They are, yes.
Because Diane and I, who have been out there doing your comments and things in between shows, didn't get a lot of work done because there was a lot of oohing and ahhing about the sprinkles. They were amazing. They are a bit yummy. They are very, very yummy. Okay, so who have we got on the team today? So myself, Hannah, hello. We've obviously got Jamie here as well from Jamie Rodgers Crafts. We've got Ethan on a camera. Give us a wave, Eve.
Lots of emotion.
It's like, oh, yeah, come on. And we got Sam producing and directing in the corner. Who we got in comments are, Sam? I'm guessing it's probably Diane and you. Little combo going on there. So any questions, any messages you want relayed, type them in because we have got the iPad. We will go through them in the show. Jamie, where would you like to start?
Should we look at the mega bundle to begin with?
Okay, I think that's a good idea.
So this is, of course, new and exclusive. Everything we're looking at is new and exclusive to Live Shopping, which is what we like. So we'll start off here with our first one. This is our picket fence and the first die set within the garden collection mega bundle. So this die set has 8 dies in here and it gives you all of the pieces you need to be making your fences, your picket fences, your garden gates, your fence panels. And of course it can be taken off in lots of different directions to make lattices and backgrounds as well, but it's certainly intended to be making your fences. These of course can be added as little additions being wrapped around our cards, or they can be built up to be the focal of our cards. And then of course what you might notice with these is we've given them to you in quite a long length, intending that way you can trim them to where you want them to be. So if you want to make a little fence for your card, you can absolutely do that. If you want it to be the focal of your card or the complete background of your card, you can have it in that format as well. And then of course you can bring in all of the other garden elements that we're going to be looking at throughout this collection to decorate over the top of these. This is what I was on about. Our lovely Diane here has even made a faux background with the strips and done her lattice with them as well.
Ah, so really versatile on this
one, you can completely go off in so many different tangents with these if you wish to. But that's our first die within that collection.
And if you're looking to add this one to your baskets, remember it's Shop Mega in the comments. It's $89.99 and just wait to see what else Jamie has in this collection.
Now to go in front of our fence, it's all about building a scene for me when I do a collection. So with this one I wanted some flowers to go in front of the fence. There's 3 different flowers. Our first one is our Hellebore Blooms. In this one you actually receive 2 dies. So you've got one for your main stem and your foliage, and then you've got one for your flower heads. And I've done this intentionally because it means that you can use just your stem if you wish to, maybe some sort of silhouette styles or some colouring over the top of it, or you can use just your flowers like you would a traditional flower set, or of course you can bring the 2 pieces together and then actually 3D these over the top of that stem to make some lovely dimensional flowers. There's actually 7 different cuts through your 2 different dies, so you've got quite a few pieces in there. When we start bringing these together, and this one, if I can dig this out, sorry, I've got so much stuff here today, haven't I?
No, it's good.
So if we bring this out, this is done by our lovely Diane on the design team, and this is actually going to give you a bit of a sneaky peek, because not only is the hellebore on here, on the top one, you will also see the daisy and the zinnia that we're going to be looking at shortly. And I love the way she's created this, because she's shown you them being potted and used with the stems and then built up on top. She's also showing you the flowers being brought up into corners and different decorations as well. And this is really what we wanted to do, is bring you this set so you can take it off to whichever tangent you would like to. You'll also spot this paper in the background. This is our new crushed velvet paper that we've got for you on today's show as well.
Oh yeah, if you're looking to add that crushed velvet paper to your basket as well, lovely bundle selection on that one for you. Lots of lovely colours, so well working with this collection, isn't it? We've got shop bundle for the paper collection to add that to your basket, and that is £42.50 for all the paper sets. But let's keep going through your die collection. It was very like, origami going on there.
It was one of them. I've done that many times and I've got it right every other time. That time it just blew my little mind. Okay, moving on. We have got our daisy set. So in our daisy set, similar idea again, you have your stem and then you've got your separate flowers on a separate die, giving you that ability to choose which components you'd like to work with and then build up. This one's got 5 different die cut elements throughout the 2 different dies, giving you lots of options to play with. And then of course with these ones we can bring them in and we can build them up in all manner of ways to create different styles, whether we focus just in on some of the heads, put them in with some of the mixed ones, or whether we go for sort of the full-on potted plant style like here, or just one stem. These flowers are absolutely stunning, working sort of in bigger backgrounds and areas too, so if you'd like to take them off and make some swishy bits with them, you absolutely can do.
They are so pretty. Big shout out to Jamie's design team, because they've made beautiful projects here.
They're amazing. I couldn't do this without them. Genuinely I couldn't. They're incredible. The amount of work and effort they put in is just off the charts. Then we move on to the zinnia. So our zinnia is actually the largest, and this is quite important for you to see actually, so I'm going to bring back all 3 boards if I can. We kind of go up in size. So we start with the hellebore as the smallest, then we go to the daisy, then we go to the zinnia. And this is intentional, because although we give you the different flowers on the stems, if you want to, you can bring in the daisy, you could build that up on top of the zinnia or on top of the hellebore. And it's done so that if you want to build a scene, you want to build a complete garden set, you want to pot these all in different pots and make up some sort of scene, you can do, because the stems are going to hit at all different points. You can of course build them up and stretch them out further if you wish to, but it's nice to know that you've got that scale to begin with right the way through the die sets. With the zinnia die set, of course, again 2 dies in this one, actually 8 different components that they're going to cut out across the 2 different dies. Once again, giving you lots of deboss effect actually on the main die. So when we look to the top of the stem here, if we do just wish to use that on its own, that's going to look really lovely if we go in and highlight that with some of our waxes or inks, different mediums, but can literally just be used as it is.
And that's something you guys at Jamie Rodgers Crafts do so incredibly well, is this deboss effect. It's very unusual for your die cuts to see this, but actually it adds that extra dimension,
when you look to the level of attention, even like right the way down to the tiny little dots, you might just about be able to see them in the middle of that flower. Everything is thought of, everything is added there. Our dies genuinely take longer to produce because of the amount of etching we put on them. But to us, it's just that extra level that we can give you, so that it gives you a colouring guide, it gives you a texture, and it gives you ease to actually just go in and add some waxes over them if that's all you wish to do with them. Then we move on. So we've given you the flowers, we've given you the picket fence. We now move on to where are the flowers going to live? What are we going to put the flowers into? So we're going to need some beautiful plant pots for these, aren't we? So here we have our plant pot set. And in this die set, we have 5 dies. Now, once again, we mention our lovely level of debossing and embossing. Look at the texture that's created on these just by sending them through your machine. And if you've got a rubber mat or a tan mat, and you wish to add that onto the top to get even more depth, then you absolutely can do. Now, these, of course, could go into home decor. They can go into your card making. They could go into your scrapbooking. They can go into all of your kind of paper craft projects and be built up in all manner of ways. And also something I'm going to bring your attention to is this lovely deboss detail that you're going to see running through the plant pots. This little swish here, this is also going to appear on our next 2 die sets. And this is intentional again, because it means you can build up that theme throughout your scene if you wish to. It looks like you've been to a really posh garden centre and everything's going to coordinate for you. So as we move on to our next one, that same swish comes in and is added onto the middle of our wheelbarrow. And then with this die set, we receive 2 dies. your main focal wheelbarrow, and then your little sort of tufty of grass that can be again added on to build up your scene. I love this card. I think this one's done by Wendy, where she's kind of got like the gardeners fell into the wheelbarrow. And then another one here going a bit more rustic, building up with the plant pots and the tools, and then one here with lots of flowers popped inside it instead. And then the picket fence actually being made into a frame this time instead.
Yeah, so many ways of using it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so clever.
It's a really lovely set to work with. Then we move on and we've got the garden essentials. Now the garden essentials is all about the tools and the accessories we're going to need to sort of build our scene once again. So here is that same matching detail running through on our watering can. We've then got all of the different tools, even down to the rubber gloves and the wellies. So you've got everything you're going to need all on one die, so that you don't have to kind of find all of the different components or worry about losing the one for the gloves, for instance. And that die set's going to cut 11 items out for you. You can then build up once again into your scenes like this lovely shed here, or maybe do little focal sort of inchy style squares, or again, this one's lovely, focus in just on one of the components, something like the wellies for instance, and do them in lots of different colours.
That's so cute, isn't it? And actually that little centre bit is the centre from one of your little flowers, isn't it?
Yeah, everything works together. Everything sort of mixes and matches. And then again, even like the little flowers or leaves, sorry, you see here, you could snip these off. I think that might even be these ones that have been snipped off to go into that part there. So yeah, trim into them, cut away from them as you wish to use all of the different components.
So lovely. So maybe you've got someone in your life who is a keen gardener. I know several family members who would be absolutely delighted to receive cards like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and gardening is one of them things that goes across all ages and all sexes, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
So it's one of those that fits in for just about everybody in some format. Then the last die in this collection is, of course, our miniature elegant butterflies. Now, we did an original elegant butterflies. These are our miniature version. So again, trying to keep in with the scale that you're going to need to go with your flowers and build up your scenes to make sure that the scope fits. When we start playing with these ones, you can see that they've got, again, lots of lovely debossing. So they're going to come in and sort of decorate beautifully with inks and waxes. Or, of course, you could go for the more filigree ones and just leave them more as open work. In this die set, again, it's all on one panel, so you have no fear you're going to lose any of the smaller pieces. And this panel cuts 7 butterflies as it goes through your machine.
That's incredible, Jamie. Thank you for sharing that with us. So that, if you want to get the full collection, is Shop Mega. Lots and lots and lots of dies, as we've seen, and of course, lots of different ways of using them as well. Shop Mega, $89.99 for all of that.
It's not bad,
That's
is it?
very good, yeah.
We jam back a lot in.
You really do, don't you? I mean, even down to, as we've said, the deboss features as well, everything linked together, telling a story, and again, the snippability on these as well is so lovely. Now, a few hellos to say. Let's just have a little scroll back. We got Samantha sending you birthday wishes.
Thank
Wendy's
you,
here again. Hazel says good morning as well.
Lovely.
Alison, happy spectacular first birthday.
Thank you very much, Alison.
I think that sums it up, doesn't it? Julie Warlow, I love this. Couldn't hold back any longer. Got the stencils.
Oh, the stencils. Oh,
good choice.
That's a lovely collection. You're going to have a lot of fun with those.
You absolutely are. We've got a couple of people saying that your microphone is very quiet.
Oh, it's probably me. I'll yell.
You're softly spoken.
Maybe. Depending. Pete wouldn't agree, probably. Pete wouldn't agree with that one for a second.
Brilliant.
He might like me softly spoken.
Keep your comments coming in. We'd love to hear from you. So, Jamie, what are we looking at now?
Okay, so this one's not in your bundle. We've done this intentionally because not every crafter likes to stamp or die cut, so putting them all together sometimes I feel is a bit odd.
Sure.
So we've done the other stamp as a separate stamp that you can purchase on its own. This one is our DL clear stamp. It's approximately 4 inches by 8 inches. And of course, great for matching up to do larger backgrounds with them, or just taking them and using them over the tops of what's going to, of course, be cut out to be our picket fences. This again is great for making into sheds and different pieces, or of course your sort of rustic frames.
That's fantastic. So to get your grain textured stamp home, that is Shop Grain, $11.99 in your baskets. And being a stamp, you're then in control of the colours you're using,
Absolutely.
the finishes you're using, the mediums even you're using with it as well, which is just gorgeous. Love, love, love that. Because think about the dies you may already have in your collection.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a shed, it could be, I don't know, strips, it could be rectangles. If you're adding then that extra layer of detail, just gives it a whole different purpose.
And it doesn't even have to be about gardening.
No.
To me, wood grain, I don't know why, but I associate this with Christmas. I don't know where that comes from. It might just be me. But I think very rustic Christmas, what log cabins,
Log
that
cabin,
kind of
big blanket,
yeah,
oh, sheepskin
open
rug.
fires.
Yes. Hot
so
chocolate.
I don't know why, but to me, you could take that off in lots of different themes and occasions throughout the year.
You absolutely could. And talking of themes and occasions, this is a must-have.
So yes.
Absolute must-have.
This is our little sentiment bundle. There are 5 brand new sentiments for you. We build a bit of a library with these. We've got about 15 of these already available on the website for you.
Yep.
And I tell you this because to me it's important that you know that you can get matching pieces to complete the story.
That's fantastic.
Whether that's for your gift tag, whether that's for the outside of your card, whether that's for the inside of your card, is all going to coordinate through. But with these ones you've got, you are truly one in a million, with love and wishes on your special day, best mum in the world, and I miss you so much. And lastly, hope your day is magical.
They are really lovely. And again, perfect size.
Yeah, they're not too diddy, but they're not too big. I know that probably sounds silly, but it's all about trying to make sure that you can use them as a focal point if you want to, but you don't have to.
Doesn't overwhelm the card.
Yeah, they can be your insert if that's what you want them to be.
Great idea.
But it can be a sentiment on the front as well.
So if you want to see the others in Jamie's range of the mini sentiments there, you can check out Jamie's brand shop on liveshopping.vip. If you're looking to add this bundle to your basket today, you are looking Shop Truly. Oh, my apologies. That doesn't make any sense, does it? You were switching through them, weren't you? Yeah. We've got a new screen, and I'm not used to doing it.
Very fancy new screen.
Very fancy new screen. This collection is Shop Sentiment, which makes a lot more sense. And you can get all of these. Sam, is that right? $19.99. Okay.
4 or 5.
That's
good,
very good. That's very good. You can tell I've prepped this show beforehand.
We know everything. The words, the prices, we know it all.
All the things.
We're pros.
Do you know what? That is an amazing price for your phone.
But it is, isn't it? And to me, though, this is the kind of thing we want to bring you. Little pocket money sort of things that we can really make a difference with and add in, as I say, throughout all of your projects. Even into your journaling and your scrapbooking. It doesn't have to just be for cards.
I love that. And again, you've touched on it just now. Scrapbooking, journaling, mats, layers, card blanks, basically the foundations of pretty much anything in paper crafting. You're bringing us this gorgeous paper bundle here, Jamie.
We are. Now this is a love. This really is. And I've got some here for you so you can actually see it in its sheet form. But this is our crushed velvet paper. Now this is 120 GSM. You're going to receive 10 sheets of a colouring per pack as such. And it does genuinely have a bit of a texture to it.
Oh, it does.
And it's hard to describe. It's kind of a bit like,
it's like crushed velvet.
But it's kind of like concrete. I don't know where I get that from, but when we go to like the greys.
Grain leather, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what Mel said that yesterday. So it's kind of, it's kind of one of those. But it takes you off on a few different tangents.
It does.
But 120 GSM, so perfect for your folding, perfect for your tearing, if that's what you'd like to do with it. There are 10 different colours available. I'm sure you can see them sort of scanned across. But actually in form, it's just a really lovely paper, which of course has a colour core to it as well. So if you wish to, you can do all your tearing effects and your vintage effects of it. You can emboss it, you can die cut it, you can stamp on it, you can even print on it through your printer.
That's amazing. There's something very, very inviting about a paper that isn't just plain. I think it takes the fear away, doesn't it?
It takes away the open space of it as well, doesn't it? You know, how many times do we make a card and think, well, I just wanted something in that background that isn't going to steal the show, isn't going to take over, isn't going to overpower, but is going to fill that void. And to me, a product like this does that.
Does that perfectly, and then some as well. So if you're looking to add the paper to your basket, that code is Shop Bundle, £42.50, and that is for all sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sheets of each. 100 pieces of paper.
Correct.
Sam, can you just divide? Hang on, I can't do maths. That should be an easy one. 42p?
That's right.
Is it? Oh God, you know when you start questioning yourself.
I don't know, you've done it to me now. I was confident there, now I've lost it.
No. Per pack?
Yeah. So then
£4.25
42p each.
That's incredible. That's amazing. 100 sheets of paper. You're going to go in some to get through that.
We can't do any of these quizzes, can we?
No,
we can't sign up to any of this kind of quiz stuff between us, can we?
No, we had this last time when we were trying to do quizzes, weren't we?
We can't just can't do it. No maths questions, please. But yeah, about 42p a sheet. That's
incredible. Gorgeous colours as well. So really perfect. Things like your khaki colour there, the creams, the mint colours, absolutely gorgeous for your garden collection.
Absolutely.
Then you've got the brighter colours, which are going to work perfectly as your florals themselves. Again, standout sentiments from these. It just all ties in perfectly. Remember, that is Shop Bundle, £42.50. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous papers on that one. Jamie, Do you think we could have a little demo?
Should we have a play?
Yeah,
should we
have a
actually
play?
do something, shall we?
So whilst you're having a play, I just need to let everyone know we do have a giveaway running for this hour. Jamie has very generously said one of you lucky guys at home who shops with us during this show will be in with a chance of winning everything you see along the back here. Lots and lots of lovely sort of frames. We've got stamps, we've got dies, we've got nested dies, lots and lots of detailing in there, textured paste, gilding flakes, the works to celebrate Jamie's first birthday. £100 retail.
It's over 100.
Yeah.
To be honest, I picked the bundle.
Oh, okay.
I genuinely did pick it.
So you went shopping.
And I was there and I was like, well, we haven't given them any glue and we haven't given them any waxes. And it just kind of, and then at the end I was like, I'm not going to add it up because of Peter said 100.
Okay, well,
and I was like, well, if you don't know, if I can't confess an actual figure, then you know, we can get away with it. So yeah, mathematically don't add it up, Pete. But yeah, let's say 100.
100. Brilliant. So all you need to do is purchase something from the show. You'd be in a chance with the winning. Once you've purchased something, write the word sizzle.
Sizzle day.
In the comments. Love that. So what are we doing here, Jamie?
So what we're doing is we've taken a piece of white card. We're going to work on a baking tray just because it's easy for me to get out of the way as I'm sort of finished working with it. We're going to mist both sides with water because we're going to go onto this as a wet product. You don't have to. You can use your Enchanted sprinkles on dry and then mist them if you wish to.
Yeah.
But for this one, we're going to start off with a wet base. And misting both sides of the card just means that when card gets wet, usually it will start to curl. So if we mist the reverse first, it'll stay flat.
Top tip
and then
there.
you're not going to get any runs. I picked this up from Jane Gill.
Oh,
the
yeah.
lovely woodware lady. I never
Jane
heard
Gill.
this before. And I was like, that's incredible. Why did I not think of this? So yeah, credit where credit's due. And one of the amazing tips from Jane.
Thank you,
so
Jane.
this one is Orchid, and we're just tapping this out across the white card. Now these are, of course, our Enchanted sprinkles. These are a dye-based powder. These absolutely chocked full of mica. It's genuinely the most mica we can put into a product. There are limits, and we've hit them. So what we're going to do is just keep misting with water.
Gosh, Jamie, look at it go.
And let this fire work out.
Wow.
Now we're going to do a bit of a colour mix on this one.
Okay.
So we started off with Orchid, but we're now going to bring in our golden yellow. And we're just going to tap this over the top to infill some of those white areas. Now on this morning show, we did loads of different techniques with these.
Yeah.
And there is literally loads we can do with them. We can mix them into texture paste, we can stamp with them, we can use them on acetates, we can do all sorts with them, including using them as a watercolour as well. But yeah, genuinely look at these as an ingredient to go into all of your different mixes and add new life to products you've possibly already got hold of. We'll just give that a little bit more of a mist.
That's
you can dilute this. Like here, let's dilute a bit more, because the more you dilute, the more you're just going to sort of move it about. But it's up to you whether you want to keep it very sort of spotty like over here or diluted down. It will literally dry as you see it. So when you're happy, leave it alone.
Do you know it's giving Phoenix?
Yes.
Isn't it?
It is, yes. Very beautiful in that sense.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so leave that to one side. Of course, the more water you've added to it, the longer it's going to take to dry. But usually we would say about half hour-ish. Okay. You know.
Can you force dry it?
Yeah, you can speed it up if you need to. So once we've got that, let's go on to our sheet, shall we? Let's talk about these. So here's a couple that are dried already. So you can see them already sorted here and settled down. You can reactivate that if you want to. You could mist with water if you needed to and reactivate it and bring them back and sort of work with them further if you wish. But of course, what we want to do with them is we want to die cut from them. And I think this is nice because you might wonder if once we've done that technique, does that mean that we can't add more to the top of it? Well, absolutely we can do. We can certainly take that and work further from there. So let's just bring in a couple of dies. So if we go for one of our stemmed ones, we'll go for our daisy, and we'll do that from our green card, and then we'll bring in our hellebore and we'll cut that out of this lovely sort of magenta yellowy piece. We'll just take that part off.
If you're wanting to add those sprinkles to your basket, your shop code is Shop Enchanted, and which they absolutely are enchanted, aren't they? Shop Enchanted, and that is $54.99 for the full bundle that Ethan very beautifully is just showing you now, which is fantastic. Thank you, Ethan. And although the colours look quite pastel within, as soon as that water hits, it goes amazing, isn't it?
It does. And some of them firework out into multiple shades.
Okay.
Some of them just stay as kind of one shade. And again, that was kind of intentional to give you a variation. But mix them. You know, there are so many ways in which you can mix them and mix them into different things to create different styles with them. Honestly, they are something you're going to have so much fun with. So as you can see, this is cut beautifully. I know it's probably common sense, but you might wonder if adding this to the top is in some way going to limit how we can cut it or the effects that we can do with them, but absolutely not. It's just going to add to them and give you that beautiful mica finish to these pieces. You could stamp over the top of this if you wish to. You could put it into an embossing folder and emboss them. You could ink over them. You know, there's no limit really. Just treat this like you would a piece of ordinary card, but just one that we've done a little bit of magic to, really.
Yeah, makes total sense. So again, Jamie's just working through the Shop Mega Collection, $89.99 to get those home. Sam is flashing up the different individual items as well, if you want to come in and get individual items too.
So what we're going to do next, now we've got our die cut pieces cut, we're now going to go on and emboss a stencil.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to use our stencil. I've got to get this the right way around because I'm already off on the wrong tangent. Where's my mat gone? Oh, honestly.
There's proper craft in there, isn't
I
it?
never think I do this right. But we're going to start off with our 3 mil. We're going to bring in our stencil. We're going to lay on top our piece of card. We're going to put on top of that our rubber mat. And then we're going to put a 5 mil on the top of that one and send it through.
So this is the Pro Cup that you're using, again available on the brand shops there if you're looking to come in and get a new die cutting machine. When it comes to embossing, Jamie, is there a particular thickness of card you're using?
I do this with all sorts, even down to our paper. You can emboss that beautifully. And then our standard card, our elite card collection is 300 GSM. So, you know, you've gone right the way from 120 to 300 and found no problem.
Wow.
Genuinely, this machine, I love this machine. It just gives me such a professional finish every time, beautifully. And whether we wish to work on it on our emboss side or whether we wish to flip this over and use it on our deboss side.
Do you have a favourite?
Perfect. I think it depends on the project and as well as at the stencil.
Yeah.
Because if it, and then what I want to do, oh, sorry, this is really not answering any question, is it? But then what I want to do with it from here, because I might want to bring in something like an ink, for instance, and so we're going to go over the top of this and highlight the deboss side more and end up with a very different effect to what I'm going to do on the other side. So, you know, it's down to where you're going to take it versus kind of what stencil you're using and what side you're going to go with and where you want to be.
It's literally the same stencil, but look at the different results using the different sides. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's just one ink pad. And to me, that's why I love stencils. And if you are going to do this at home, like I just did, the tip here is if you're going to go over it, if you leave the stencil in place when you put the ink over the top, then you've got protection that these bits aren't going to give way when you push down on them, because the stencil will still give you the structure and support.
Great.
So when we're rubbing down on the top, we're not going to crush the card again. Especially with juicy ink pads, because we're adding moisture to card, it can sometimes give way.
Yeah.
And then you might end up with colour in like the teardrops. So if you leave the stencil in place, you've got that structure. You'll go over the top easier.
Great tip there, thank you, Jamie.
So now we've got our stenciled piece that we've dyed green, that we didn't need green. We'll go on to the actual card, shall we? So I'll bring these pieces in. Now I've used a different stencil here. I've actually used this lovely hexagon one. Please don't ask me the name, because I forgot it already. Haven't got a clue.
It's one of the, yeah, one of them.
It's one of them. One of the 20 new ones. Honestly, I try so hard to remember the names, and they go in one ear and out the other. Faded hexagons, maybe?
But then that's the reason why you need all of them. Because then you can just choose, can't you?
Yes, treat them as a memory test.
Exactly.
Yes. That can be like another little job that we do with them in the evening, little flashcards.
Yeah, great idea.
That's what I should get Pete to do with me for the week leading up to the show. It might actually sink in then.
Good do.
My defence today is we're launching over 50 products.
Yeah.
That's a lot to remember.
It is a lot.
My little brain. My little brain's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 mil foam tape on the back of these layers, and we're just going to bring this in and layer this up. So that we've got a nice little silver frame running around the edge there. And then we're going to go on to our die cut pieces. So we've got a few of these already done. Now this is the one that we just created, but I've gone in here and I've snipped off a couple of pieces off of this one. And this is the one that we're going to use. If I don't throw my glue away, bring the glue back. So we're going to add some of our dry clear glue onto the reverse of this. We don't need too much of it, and the joy is working with a dry clear glue. If it does come out the edges a little, it's not the end of the world.
Oh, look, Sam's being a super champion. She has put the details of the stencils up for us as well. You found it.
Thank you, Sam.
I could see you looking. looking. I can see you're really, really looking. So you can get the full set, and these are all new stencils, aren't they, today?
New and exclusive.
New and exclusive. Shop stencils, $79.99, and that's for, is it 20?
20 DL stencils.
My goodness me.
And they should be, I'm not very good at this, but basically £100 because they're $4.99 each.
There you go.
Got 20, so a few pennies off.
Yeah. Wow.
We go back to trying to do maths again, don't we?
We just
I
skip over
need to
that
write
bit.
this down before we go live. It's never any good. And then I'm going to bring in the best mum in the world die cut, and I've done that from silver. I've done one from our background as well, and I would just stick the two together, just drop shadow in slightly, so we end up with a little halo of the silver coming around the edge, just to match in with that mica, because then it all kind of coordinates, doesn't it?
That's really pretty.
And then I'm going to be very naughty and put some glue on my hand, just so I can pat this through and stick this down with all of the fine bits to save me finding my glue tool. And then we're going to place that down on there. So very easy, quick card. But this is what I love about these powders, is it gives you the ability to make some really incredible backgrounds, and then teaming that with the stencils to do your embossed background. If we didn't emboss this background, a bit like we were talking about with the paper earlier, that would be quite plain, wouldn't it? We'd have quite a plain card, just a white panel. But that little level of embossing really elevates the background too.
It really, really does. Absolutely sings. So remember, Jamie has used those amazing Shop Enchanted sprinkles to get this colour. We've got our shop stencils in the background and our shop sentiment there for your mum sentiment there as well. We've got a couple of questions coming in, Jamie. Let me just scroll through. Angela says, some of those coloured papers look brilliant for the flower pots.
They are.
They really do, Angela. I love that. Kat says, I'm the lucky cookie who won the giveaway in the last show this morning. Congratulations, Kat. Thank you so much, Jamie. You're generous, and thank you, Highlight Crafts, bring us all these shows this weekend. And she sent kisses, which is lovely.
It's
well
been
received.
Joy, isn't it? It's been a lovely
fun.
weekend.
Actually, it's been a lot of fun. Beverly asks, can you use your powders in resin or candle making?
They're two crafts I've never got into.
Okay.
So always complete honesty, because I don't want to tell you can do something and then you can't. But I believe you would certainly be able to use them with resin, because a lot of people work with mica powders in resin, from what I understand. So there's no reason I can't see that these ones wouldn't work for you.
Yeah.
And then candle making, that's something I've never done.
I don't know. It depends on the candle itself, the wax, because the wax is coloured as well, isn't it? Or can be.
I would imagine so.
Do you know what?
It's not something I've done.
Not, obviously for decoration purposes when it comes to a candle, but what I would say, you're getting a huge amount and you don't need a lot to make a difference within these. Give it a try. Have an experiment. Have a play.
When you start mixing these with things, should we do that?
Yes, please. Let's do it.
Because we'll start off with a texture paste, shall we? And we're going off on a bit of a tangent. We did go through this more this morning, so if you've got questions of mixing things, but it might be nice for you to just see it quickly. If we bring this in, this is our silver texture paste. This is a silver glitter texture paste. So when we talk about glitter texture paste, what we have here is basically shards of glitter, flakes of glitter, pieces of glitter.
That's incredible.
And then they're suspended in a clear medium. And what we're doing by adding colour to this is we're going to colour the clear medium. So I'll give that a little mist of water as well, just to dilute down. We've gone for stormy skies for this one.
Oh gosh, yes.
But the minute we start mixing, and I know this isn't answering your question about resin and candle making exactly, but more it's showing you that how easy it is to mix in and create a new medium, create a new product that you can then work with.
Jamie, that colour is incredible. My goodness.
Isn't that gorgeous? And you still see the glitter, because we've not coloured the glitter. We're not, the colour, the glitter isn't going to, it's not absorbent, it's not going to take on a colour, but the clear medium that we're surrounding it with will. And that's the trick.
I'm not sure who's getting close to this, me or Ethan. We've both got our face right in the glitter.
Just want to be part of it. No, it's fine. It's not a problem. So if we then, of course, this is just with a stencil again, but you could be working this over all of your different mediums. I know we had a question this morning, sorry I forget the customer's name. They asked about mixing it in with white acrylic paint and gesso and bits of that. Absolutely, there is no reason why not. So again, just think of all of the things that you've already got in your stash that you can start mixing in with to create brand new colours.
Oh, wow, Jamie, that's amazing. Oh my goodness me. So to get your sprinkles home at Shop Enchanted, please, if you're going to make anything from this, a little plea from me, we'd love to see what you make.
Absolutely.
We've got the Jamie Rodgers craft group on Facebook.
Yeah, created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts.
There we go.
I knew it had those vague looks.
I had those words, just not in that order that I said.
Something along the lines. Something along them.
And if you can, we'd love to see here at Highlight Crafts. So highlight your creativity for our group as well. We would love, love, love to see them. Karen here says, I brought the paper and the sprinkles in the earlier hours. Can I still enter the draw, or do I have to buy from this show, please? Karen, if you're talking about giveaway, it is for this show. So if you've added something to your basket from this hour, the word is sizzle to be in with a chance of winning Jamie's prize giveaway. What are we doing now, Jamie?
Well, I'm going to do something on a different tangent.
Okay,
because I think it's always fun to do different things and show you different things. And there's a few ways in which we can do this. But we're going to stamp with the Enchanted sprinkles.
Oh, okay.
Because that isn't necessarily something you might think about.
No.
And it's just a little side demo. But as mentioned earlier, we were going to do it and I don't want to forget it. So what I've done is I've bought in a stamp. This is our Poinsettia Melody background. And I'm going to go over the top of this with a clear emboss ink. Now, different people say you don't need to use the clear ink, and I'm not saying you have to. The stamps are quite sticky on their own right, but I always find I get a bit of a better impression if I add a clear ink to it. Now, this could be any brand of clear ink. All we're using here is the ink for is to pick up the powder, basically. We're then going to bring in a piece of paper, just a piece of scrap paper, a copy of paper, and we're going to make, in theory, what's going to be an ink pad. So we're going to bring in our powder and we're going to tap this across here. You don't have to do too much of this because it's not the paper we're going to be working from. It's just picking up a base. So that was our golden yellow. We're going to go for orchid. Not very Christmassy colours, but it's more the technique I'm showing you at this stage. And we have got Christmassy colours, but I'm just trying to be quick because I'm going off on a side tangent. And then we're going to bring in Stormy Sky. So orchid, Stormy Sky, and our golden yellow for this one. And then we're going to bring in the stamp and we're going to pick up those powders. So we're going to just place this down and pick them up. And you can do this in a stamp press if you've got a stamp press. It doesn't have to be one of these style of presses. This is a lovely Crafts 2 one, so I'm sure you've had John bring you these before, but it's just an easy, quick way to demo this technique. So we've now got, hopefully, a nice coverage of powder over our stamp. Now, I know my stamps are never clean. I once read an article with Tim Holtz who said that he doesn't wash stamps. That was a green light for me to never wash a stamp again in my life.
If Tim Holtz said it's okay.
If it's good enough for Tim, it's good enough for me. So my stamps are never very clean. Now with this, you don't want to use too much water because it could become a bit blurry if we do. But if we do, and we don't like what we create, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to try and stamp on the counter at a distance just so I don't have to worry about the gap in the mat.
Okay.
And then we're going to just push down. Now you might find your second generation is better than your first if you've put a bit too much water on. So there's nothing too much to worry about here.
Wow.
But there's our first impression.
Oh, wow.
Now that will dry with all the mica and the shimmer and the shine that we need it to. And of course it depends on the colours that we're playing with, so the effects we're going to get. But if you've looked at powders before and thought, well, what else can I do with them? To me, this is something brand new that you can really experiment with and play with. And if you do it and you don't like it, you know, just powder over the top of it. Or mist it out, dilute it down.
Look at it go. Oh my goodness.
And so look at that. Look at them colours come through that. No, I really love that. I prefer this to this one, although I really like this part of that one.
Yeah.
So it's all about just experimenting and playing, isn't it?
Sam's had to come and have a look as well.
Come and see that in person.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But if it does go terribly wrong, then just keep diluting down. Keep diluting and then bring in your powders and add them over the top. We started with a piece of card, we can finish with a piece of card, just in a different format. So don't look at it and think, well, I've done this wrong, because you can't do this wrong. This is something I would stress. Even if you really get to a point you don't like it, take out what you've created and then build up on top of it. So we could now add another colour over the top of that. But actually, I quite like the fact that we've got that stamp coming through in the background. So what we might do is just block back and go for quite a vintage effect. Because that's quite lovely, isn't it?
Every stage you could stop and it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
But we could just add and add and add and cover that over completely and end up with a completely different finish. But that will dry with the mica in it, so you're going to end up with that having a shine come through from it, from the mica or from a stamp, which I think is just a fun way to take your products off in a different direction.
I've never seen stamping with powders before. I think that is incredible. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing that with us. If you would like to add add these sprinkles, and my goodness me, why wouldn't you? They are absolutely amazing. It's Shop Enchanted to get the whole collection into your bundle today. We are looking at $54.99 for all of them. How many have we got, Jamie? 12, is it?
Of the Enchanted sprinkles, yeah, 12. 12 in the collection. Behind there are a few boards, and then behind them are mixes. I never show you the mixes this morning.
Oh, we'd love to see.
But there is just a few mixes there showing you how they're going to come out, if that's any help.
Yes, definitely.
Because
so
I think when you see them dried,
yes,
do you actually see all the mica come through? So this one's got a couple of little dots in it, forgive me please. But that one is our Sunshine Yellow, giving you that mica shimmer. Then you've got Spring Green coming in this time. And it's all the different colours that firework through them that to me is just incredible. And then we've got Orchid coming in next.
And that's one you used in the first demonstration, isn't it?
Orchid's one of my go-tos. I love that one. Then we've got Coral Pink, which is actually really lovely because it's a bit softer than some of the others. So a little less intense. Then you've got, if I can keep hold of it, we've then got Christmas Green. All that beautiful shimmer on there. Look at that and think of ferns and holly and all of them bits that are coming up. Then we've got Decadent Purple. Again, lots of different shades in that one. Then we move on and we've got Golden Yellow. It's a beautiful shimmer. This one I love. This one is our Stormy Skies. So loads of shades coming through in that one, of different levels of blues. Then we've got Circuit Breaker. So your steels, your reds, your blues, all coming through on that one. Then we've got Tidal Teal. So again, quite a lovely dark teal, to be fair, isn't it? With some lovely little light shading running through that one. Then we've got Cherry Pop. Nice bright colour. And then lastly, we've got Christmas Red. Now, I always think it's nice if you get to see a few mixes. So here are a few different colours mixed together to give you some ideas of how you can be mixing these and the different shades in which you can work with. Because it doesn't just have to be one colour at a time. You really can firework these out to whatever level you want to play with to create completely different backgrounds, unique each time you work with them.
And I think that's what's so inviting about them. Even if you try and recreate it by using the same colours, you're going to get something totally different each time. Let's have a little look, because I've just had a message through. Oh, okay. Hello, Amanda. Welcome along. So Amanda says, Jamie, it's the first time I've seen you.
Oh, thank you.
You're absolutely amazing.
Oh, bless you.
Definitely a fan now.
Oh,
That's
thank
lovely,
you.
isn't it? Thank you, Amanda. That's wonderful. Welcome along. Marina says, I love the demos, Jamie. I'm sorry I can't afford to buy them at this time, but certainly saving up for them. Will they stay on your VIP page if they're in stock? Yes, absolutely. That is the wonderful thing about live shopping. The team, the third party, everyone who comes in on live shopping VIP leaves their products with us on their brand shops on the website. So yeah, absolutely. Even if Jamie isn't on air, you can still shop with Jamie on live shopping VIP. Just navigate to his brand shop and everything that's available will be there.
Which is what we love. Isn't it?
What are we doing now? Have we got another garden demo here?
If that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah, so I thought we'd just do a quick, simple one, nothing complicated. But I wanted to play with that wood grain stamp, to be honest.
Yeah,
because
why
I think
not?
That's such a lovely one to share with you and nice to see. So if I can find it, we'll have a little play.
Excellent, love that.
So this time we're going to bring in the wood grain stamp. We're going to use a proper stamp press because we can use one of these instead of one of the push down ones. And we're going to bring in a piece of card once again to work in. Again, I don't even clean my stamp presses. So I am actually one of the most messiest crafters. I think this is the truth. I never know how anything comes out without a fingerprint on it or a mark somewhere because everything is always messy.
Well, it's really funny you say that because I'm looking at your organisation behind the scenes and you have got it on point. There are boards with magnetic shims on, there's folders. Everything is beautifully organised behind the scenes. I find it hard to believe you're a messy crafter, Jamie.
I am. I put up a picture the other day of the desk I was trying to sort through and I thought afterwards I really shouldn't have posted that because it looks awful. It looks like some sort of typhoon had come through the building.
Do you know what? I think it's real. I think most of us can relate though.
I think we all start off thinking, well, we'll be tidy today.
Yes.
And then that goes out the window, doesn't it?
We start with the best intentions.
Yeah, we do. I'm not doing this very well. Honestly, it's what happens when I talk and work. It all goes well out the window. Okay, so again, wood grain, and I've stamped this using our squirrel red ink just because I want you to see it pop because it is quite a subtle detail and can be depending on the inks that you're working with. But actually the detail is really lovely. All the little knots in the wood, really shine through when you can see it. So again, maybe bring in your embossing powders to this to make that really sing and pop if you wanted to. We've got a card where it's been done in the gold and that looks really lovely. So build that up, really intensify that. So here, if we start off with our card blank, we'll start off with our colours. Now for our tools and our plant pot that we're going to be working with for this one, we're going to be colouring these with alcohol markers. So I've used the same colours of alcohol markers to just go around the edges of my card so that it all coordinates. So it looks a bit messy, but we're not going to be seeing this. This is just going to be layer 3 or layer 1.
That's such a good way of preserving your papers and things, isn't it?
Well, it means we can buy good value white cardstock and then everything coordinates, because to me there's nothing worse than colouring in with your markers and then not having the matching colour of card or paper to go with them.
So right. So, now Jamie, you know Karen asked earlier about the sizzle giveaway and how it's got to be if you've purchased in this show. Yeah. She said, oh, great excuse to buy in this show again. Don't tell hubby I've brought again in this show.
I like that.
I like your style, Karen.
I like that. That's a great way to justify shopping. Not that we need any help, do we? No. Let's be truthful about this. So, okay, onto our little pot here. So we're going to go for our lovely little wooden barrel. And I've added some foam tape on the reverse of this. And all we're going to do is we're going to start bringing in our tools. Now, I've trimmed mine down already, just so I can poke these into the little lip on the barrel and hold them in place. And we can do this with a few different bits. Try and treat this as a bit of a messy pot in the shed, ready full of all of the tools for when it's gardening season.
And that pot's from the flower pot collection, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a plant pot. It can be kind of a shed storage pot if that's what you want it to be. I like the way that Ian on our design team, he's put handles on them and turned them into little cups.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought that worked really nicely. So we're going to place that down in the middle, and then we're going to bring in our little wellies as well. So we've got a double set of wellies here. And we're going to put one off to one side, and then we're going to bring the other one in and just stand it in front of the first one. And then over this side, we're going to add in a little watering can, and we're going to place that over the front this time to build up a little bit of depth.
Look how quickly that comes together.
So all coloured already, admittedly, so I have cheated a bit, but it's just showing you how you can sort of place the components together to make quite quick cards if that's what you'd like to do.
That's lovely. So they're showcasing the shop grain from the stamp collection there, giving you a wonderful backdrop to the foreground design. Then we're using the elements from Shop Garden there. That's a little sort of mini die set where you've got the tools and the spade and the wellies and the watering can. Shop Garden, $14.99 to get that one home today. Or you could go for the main bundle from the garden collection, Shop Mega, to get all your bits and bobs, including that fence, including the florals we've seen Jamie demonstrating, including the wheelbarrow and the little bits and bobs. $89.99 for Shop Mega there. Jamie, dare I ask, have we got another one we can fit in?
Absolutely, of course we have. Always. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to work over the top of a stencil with our Enchanted sprinkles.
Oh, okay.
We did do this on this morning's show, but I think it's nice to share with you how to do this because of our stencils and our powders really go hand in hand to create some amazing effects. So we're going to go back to a baking tray. We're going to find another piece of card to work on. I'll bring this one in and we're going to lay our stencil down. Now again, you can mist your paper first, like we did for the first part of the demos when we was playing with those. But this time instead, we're going to leave the paper dry and we're going to bring our powders in. So let's go for Christmas red. Should we go a bit more festive with this one?
Let's do it.
Festive is just around the corner, isn't it, in our world?
It
so
is
we
in
need
our
to start
world.
thinking about it.
Have you got any information you can release about your Christmas?
Next time I'm here, it will be Christmas.
Christmas.
Now, please don't ask me when that is.
I have no idea as well.
I have no idea.
you and I are useless for that kind of information.
I have it on a spreadsheet. I've got it. I know. It's booked. I will be back in just a matter of weeks. But the memory, I did think before we went live, I needed to look that up.
I did actually think that as well.
And then it went completely out of my head because of memory like a sieve. So we've done Christmas red and Christmas green. It's terrible, isn't it? I'm not good at this. And then we're going to bring in some yellow. So we're going to use the golden yellow as well. So red, green and yellow. I think that might be quite nice.
Yeah, great Christmas tones there as well. You're working with one of the new stencils as well, is it?
Yes. So this is our linked something. Yeah, because we don't remember the names, as we know. Our design team reckon it looks like underpants.
I saw the card.
And now that is all that sticks in my mind, is underpants.
I saw the card with the superheroes. I thought it was brilliant.
So now we're going to take our water and we're going to mist over the top to activate all of that beautiful powder.
That's what I think's mad, because when you tap them out, you don't see any green. And then when we hit it, oh my goodness, just
magic, isn't it? And then if I was doing this at home, I would leave that to set for a moment, because any puddles of water that are on the top of the stencil as we move the stencil might collide underneath of it. So if you're at home, leave it, because there's nothing that's going to damage your stencil, there's nothing that's going to stick it to the card, and it's better to let it set. But for speed, we need to remove it. So we're going to bring it in and we're going to lift that away. So that's pretty clean and crisp actually, which is lovely. But what's on top of the stencil also has a use as well.
Of course.
So we can take a print from this one and still get more benefit out of this. So nothing is wasted, which is another thing that I absolutely love. So we'll place that off to one side and we'll bring in a piece of card. And I'll show you this morning, but I think it's so lovely to see that every part of what we've got is going to be used. Now you can send this through your machine if you prefer, and then it'll also emboss it as well. But for speed, we'll add a piece of paper over the top and we'll just give that a nice firm rub. If you've got a brayer, then rubbing a brayer over the top of this, just back and forth, again, will push down and give you quite a nice impression too. But basically all we're going to do is take a print from what was on the top of the stencil. Now the piece of paper, this caught any of the sort of moisture through the middle so that we don't rub it and spread it through the middles of each of the pieces.
Oh, wow, Jamie, look at that.
But everything's used now, isn't it? You know, we've paid for the product that was on the top of the stencil, so let's take something from that and use that as well.
You're so right.
And it gives us 2 impressions out of one item. And if this comes out and you don't like it, a bit like we did with the stamping, mist it with water, throw on some more powders and then die cut out of this to add on to that one. Nothing's lost at all. So we've got 2 backgrounds out of 1 stenciled effect. We'll place those under there to dry. We'll bring in some pieces that we've already done this with. So for this one, we wasn't going Christmas. We was going a little bit more Norwich City.
Oh, love it, yeah.
Yeah, not at all football related, but yellow and green. A little bit more yellow and green for, of course, the sort of garden theme.
Yeah.
And we're going to match this in with our cardstock. So we're going to bring in some of our Elite card and place that down to begin with.
Love that.
Then we're going to go for some white on top of this one.
You know, I think Delia would like this. She'd approve of this, I think.
I only remember Delia yelling.
She does that.
She yelled years and years and years ago. That's my only football Norwich City Delia Smith knowledge. That's where it starts and ends, I'm afraid. Have you ever been and watched a game?
Yeah, I've been to Norwich City a few times.
It would be lovely.
It's fun, it's good fun.
I can imagine it would be a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Well, when they're winning, it's fun. It's not as fun when they're not, which is often. Sorry, any Norwich City fans out there. She might be watching.
Is Delia still connected?
I think so. I think Stephen Fry is as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's a Norfolk boy.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, there you go.
I know nothing. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our next little oval and we're going to place that on the top. And all we've done is brought in the zinnia flower and layered that on the top in white over a die cut. And the actual die cut for the stem is the hellebore, which is what I'm on about mixing and matching, because of that stem fitted better within that oval to be the focal of this card than it would have been had I've used the zinnia flower, which would have ended down here somewhere. Yeah. So this is what I mean about mixing and matching to make them what you want them to be as such.
That is amazing, Jamie. Thank you so much for this. Again, even though it's the same card, the same techniques, the same products used, again, different every time.
Yeah, and this could be down to how much colour we tapped out, how much water we put on, whether we misted first and then put the powder on, or powdered and then mist. So you can get a lot of variations, even in the same thing, which is lovely.
I love it, thank you. Right, should we have a little quick run through our Sam of what we've got on the show today? We can absolutely do that. So, starting with the main focus, which is our Shop Mega for your brand new gardening collection from our Jamie Rodgers.
Dies and boards?
Yes, please.
So, first up we have our picket fence. This one has 8 dies in this set, giving you all of the components you're going to need to make your beautiful picket fences. We then move on in this collection to our hellebore, which is the one that we just had in that demo. So you've got the hellebore stem and then you've got all of the flowers to go with it. So 2 dies, but actually cutting out 7 different components. Then we move on and we have got the daisy. So the daisy, again, 2 dies in here, but this time cutting 5 pieces out to give you the ability to build up as you wish to. Then we move on from that one and we have got the zinnia, so our largest flower. This time on the die set we've got 2 dies, but that was actually going to cut 8 pieces out for you and deboss beautifully to give you lots and lots of detail to play with. Then we move on to our plant pots. So the plant pots are 5 dies in this set, giving you beautiful deboss detailing on all of these, including the matching sort of details that you're going to see coming through on some of the next dies as well. Then we move on to our wheelbarrow. So 2 die sets in this one, our main focal of our wheelbarrow, and then our little tufty of grass to go with it. And then we move on to our tool sets, our garden essentials. This one, of course, has got the rakes, the spades, the gloves, the wellies, all of those essential pieces, all on 1 die, and actually is going to cut for you 11 different pieces. And then lastly, we finish this bundle out with our elegant butterflies. So these are the miniature elegant butterflies. Again, all done on 1 die for you, but actually cutting 7 pieces out in 1 pass through your machine. And that completes your mega bundle.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. Shop mega $89.99 to get all of that home today. Now, Sam, who's our lucky winner?
Lorna Crosby.
Lorna Crosby.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congrats.
You actually came in at the last minute and she said, had to place another order. And that order has won you Jamie's giveaway for this hour. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Who have we got on next, our Sam?
Piranha.
Have we? Simon Isles. Next door, Piranha. Brand new today to live shopping. Jamie, huge thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your first birthday.
Thank you. It's been a joy to be with you all. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.